Hey, welcome to another episode of Vanessa Tries the Hard Stuff. I'm actually pretty nervous about this one. What we're going to be focusing on today is hand-raised pies. Got this idea from, you guessed it, the Great British Baking Show. The concept behind hand-raised pies is, with typical pies, you are doing a pie crust in a tin. With hand-raised pies, you are not. You are doing only what you can do with your own little hands. You are shaping pie crust, filling it with basically what you would eat for dinner, filling it up to the brim, and baking it with no form whatsoever to hold it up. It was made for kings and queens in the Great British days. And yeah, doesn't look easy to me. So this could end in huge disaster. I have an idea, a concept, a design in mind. So we'll see how it goes. So the first thing we're gonna make, the pie crust. Also, if you hear a lot of noise in the background, it's just my very loud family. We're all here. 600 grams of regular flour, 120 grams of strong flour, aka bread flour, and 150 grams of butter that I've chilled and kind of cut up. So now I'm just going to rub the butter in with my fingers and get it to break up a little bit. This is what I've come up with. Okay, so with this recipe, there's a couple firsts for me. This is the very first recipe that I have ever done using a hot water crust. Other thing that I've never worked with before, and some of you are gonna be like, what? Never worked with lard. So we're doing some stuff with lard today. Looking forward to it. Okay, so I have 390 milliliters of water in there, which is roughly like 2 cups. Tablespoon of salt. And lard. I lost my lard. I found it. Lard. Lard. And 180 grams of this stinky gold. Mix it around until the lard melts. Okay, then we're going to pour the hot water into our flour butter mixture and stir it with a spoon until it starts to all come together. Just so you know, this smells hideous. Okay, this actually feels good to me. I don't think I'm gonna put any more water in it. As you can see, I have quite a bit of water left, but I don't know. It just seems like it's gonna be super duper wet if I put it in. So I'm gonna stop here. Okay, so now I'm gonna flour my surface. I'm gonna put the ball on it. Bring it together. Kind of leave it alone. Oh. All right, so I'm gonna roll this baby out. All right, let's see if it fits on my bowl. Wait. Oh wait, I forgot something. Saran wrap. Saran wrap. Okay, now. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna cut around the edges to get that perfect circle. All right, I'm literally gonna put this in the freezer because I am so nervous that I may have done something wrong and that this isn't a very strong crust. We'll see. Okay, so that little ball of dough is going to be the last bit to seal up my pies. So I will just let that sit there. Now we're gonna work on our filling. So I had this crazy hankering yesterday for like potatoes with peas and dill. So I was looking up recipes and I found this. That stew that you see is called sosekyøtt, and it's spelled like this. And it is a Norwegian, like, wintry comfort food that just sounded really, really good to put in a hand-raised pie. I think it'll be pretty good. If not, it'll just be a delicious mess, which it's what they used to call me in high school. So let's make some meat. So we are going to cut up this lovely chuck steak into cubes. All right, there's 1 pound. Here, whoop, here's my son, Alistair. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. And there's pound number 2. Okay, we're gonna season that with some salt. Pepper. We love pepper in this house, so hope you do too. And I don't know about you, but I'm just a hand mixing kind of girl, so I'm just gonna hand mix. So we're gonna melt some butter in our awesome Dutch oven. And they say to do small batches of meat, like 3 at a time, probably so that they each have time to brown. The more meat you put in drops the temperature of the pan, makes it all gray and sad instead of like awesome and caramelized. Look at that. Okay, all of our meat is done. Good. All right, 6 tablespoons of butter. Once that's all melted, now you add the flour and mix. This says to keep stirring until it turns a dark brown color. The darker the color of this, the darker the stew will be. All right, I like that color. Okay, so now we're gonna pour in an entire 4 cups of beef stock, and we're gonna mix. Okay, to this, we're gonna add 1 bay leaf and 1 onion that I cut up into wedges. Geronimo. Okay, and mix again. Okay, I can also add the meat. Okay, now that it is at a boil, I'm gonna bring it down to low. I'm gonna let it simmer. I'm gonna cover that puppy up. And we're gonna say goodbye for a little bit. Got the potatoes. Boil the potatoes. Potatoes. You can't see them, but they're in there. It's getting hot. Potatoes are done. Mash. Butter, milk, salt, pepper to taste. And mash. And fresh cut dill. Yummy. Okay, peas are drained. Now they go into my mashed potatoes. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, it might be assembly time. Okay, so this stew looks gorgeous. So So what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move it over here to this pan. There it is. So we're gonna let that cool down a little bit, and this we're gonna turn into a gravy for later. All right, here is my frozen solid bowl. Now I just have to figure out how to get the actual bowl out of it. It's like virtually impossible to get this thing off of this bowl. So a trick that Paul Hollywood says is to boil some water. Okay, I really just want to get this in the oven as soon as possible, so I'm in a little bit of panic mode, but I'm going to try the boiling water method.
I know the rules now.
Yeah.
Here's my ticket.
Oops, someone wants to come on. Whoa! Oh, jeez.
Oh.
I think it's coming. Oh, come on. It's like stuck right here. Yeah. Oh, there we go, there we go.
I'm coming, Mom.
Oh. We have a broken bowl. It's okay. Alright. Now we just fill as fast as humanly possible. I am gonna have to cut it down just because of my ginormous den. While it's still cold, I might as well. About this, you guys.
Mommy, I love you.
Oh, I love you too. Also, there's gonna be zero decorative anything about it. You're gonna be lucky that there's a top on it. Okay, we have our super misshapen bowl. I'm gonna start off with a layer of mashed potatoes. Next is some of the stew. More potatoes. More stew. More potatoes. The last bit of my stew. And the last bit of my potatoes. Okay, the last part is to put this pie crust over this and seal it. So pinch the crap out of it. Okay, I cleaned up the edges a tiny bit. I'm going to put a little air hole in the middle of my pie. Okay. All right. And it's ready to go in the oven. Okay, bye-bye, little baby. Egg wash, forgot the egg wash. Okay, back in the oven. I have no idea how long that's supposed to go in the oven for. I'm gonna say an hour. Let's see what happens then. It's at 400 degrees. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Okay, it's done. I have no words. Let's make the gravy. Just gonna mix 1/4 cup of water with 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. And I think the word is a slurry. You're creating a slurry. So I just have been heating up my stew stuff. Then I'm gonna put my slurry in there. It's getting thicker. Mix, mix, mix. Okay, we're at a nice gravy consistency. We're gonna turn it off now. Well, the build was a gigantic failure. But the most important thing is the taste. So let's put it together. All right, let's cut into this guy. Ooh. I can already tell it's super crispy. Ooh. Okay. Let me get a plate. Okay. See the side view. Oh, see that? On my plate. I'm putting it sideways because all my gravy is going on it. Oh yeah. Look at this. Hear that? Paul Hollywood would say that is no soggy bottom. So that was a huge win. So all that's left is to taste it. Get all of the little layers. Okay, we have a winner.
What?
Did it fall apart?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it fell apart big time.
Mommy, what is that?
Did I construct it terribly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did, as Leona said. Do I need to learn a little bit more about building hand-raised pies?
Yes.
Yes, again. Thank you, Leona. But is it a delicious pie?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Am I okay with baking with lard?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I am okay baking with lard. So that was a win, kind of a loss, a little bit of a loss. I would have loved to see my little construction, but I'm happy. Until next time, sayonara. Thank you for joining me, and love you lots. Bye.